everybody and welcome to a very rainy Rochester. Today we are going to be driving a service to Dover Priory, as you can see on the PIS there. Which means going to Faversham. It's quite wet. As you can. That's headlights. Headlights, day running, and it's V for Vipers. Right, doors 2 locked. Tail lights at the back are on, and yeah, it's quite wet. So without further ado, let's get moving. Oh god, I love this thing. It's so easy to set up. It's just shoes down, DC system collect, master key in, reverser forward, and off you go. Bob's your uncle. Don't need to play around with the brake settings, don't need to play around with the direction indicator, power situational mover device, like every single American locomotive out there. There aren't 50,000 switches everywhere, labelled everything under the sun. Everything's here, everything's in front of you. It's a clean cab, it's a nice cab, it's an ergonomic cab. We're speeding. Such a well-designed cab, it distracts you from doing the job. Yeah, I should have probably mentioned earlier, thanks to Mr. Train Guy, because we are here in the ARRIVA Trains Wales livery for the Class 375, which is it's very nice, modelled off a probably a Sprinter or something, or maybe, yeah, probably a Sprinter. I've got kind of a Welsh theme going, so this video and, oh god, it'll be Fridays actually, because tomorrow will be Reskin scenario, won't it? Yeah. Yeah, no. So it'll be Friday's video. We'll do Transport for Wales. Oh god, stop marker. I don't know why it's just decided to turn itself on, but I hate it. One thing a lot of you will probably have noticed, Train Sim World 2 was for free on the Epic Store recently. I wasn't going to get it because the Rush Hour update is going to come soon, and whether or not you buy Rush Hour, it will still come with the new Unreal Engine upgrade. So we'll get it soon enough. I'm not going to go out and install a whole new game and rebuy all my DLC just for a new engine and a new HUD for something that I'm going to get anyway if I wait a little longer. So that was on sale, but I have to say it looks fantastic with the new engine. It just runs so... it looks absolutely brilliant. Chatham Tunnel. Is there a junction here? No. God, there's already something up my arse. There's already many things up my arse. Bloody hell. There's something in just driving into Rochester. There's another thing there. Stuff in the sheds. But that's to be expected. You're leaving there. And there's 2 units in the high-speed platforms, the high-speed domestic platforms at Edgefleet, I'll call them that. Alright, I have to say there is quite a significant frame rate drop when there's the rains. All good. So got Gillingham, Rainham, Newington, Sittingbourne, Tainham, and Faversham. So we're doing all stops, I believe. Oh, the sounds. Pitter-patter. Classic. And actually, I've got quite a few friends who think, oh, driving trains is a joke, it's just pressing buttons and going. But the joke's on them, really, because a lot of them actually bought it. Well, not bought it, but got it off the Epic Game Store. But a lot of them, I've seen a common problem coming up. I'm quite active on the Train Sim World 2 subreddit. It requires a bunch more C++ drivers. So there's a MSVS, Visual Studio driver that is quite often absent from a lot of things, but whatever. But it also, speaking of the Reddit, it's brought a lot of newcomers to the subreddit, so it's really funny seeing people driving around in a Talent 2, and then they ask for help on the subreddit. They're going, oh, I need help, the train won't move. And they're sitting, say, in Cologne, and they've got and say the platform's on the right hand side in this example. They've got their left hand side doors open, so they didn't even have the right doors open. The master's key was in the off position, the reverser was in reverse, the indirect brake was in full application, and they're asking why when they apply full power the train won't move. And then we're going, it's like every single rail fan is pissed off, and they're going, your doors are open, your indirect brake is applied, your master key's off, and the guy's going, oh, I didn't know my doors were open. And it's like, it's on your HUD. Do you know what a HUD is? Very funny. How do I know all of this stuff? Just be a pro. Watch the bloody tutorial. It's not that hard. I mean, admittedly, some things aren't hard to drive. I mean, they're not hard to set up. The hard part is what we're doing now, the braking, the stopping on time. Oh, look, there's a 465. That lit up abruptly. One thing that would be really nice to see is dynamic weather. That would be very nice. There you go. And I'm going to adopt formal procedure by sticking the train into neutral whenever I've stopped, which is a thing that happens. And if you are enjoying the video, make sure you like and subscribe. Really helps out the channel. Let's go for a sub goal of 650 by the end of the month, and if you can reach that, I will be impressed. So 650 subs. There's over 1,000 of you who keep coming back, and if you're one of them and you do enjoy the channel, make sure you smash that subscribe button, and if you are already subscribed, make sure you smash that like button. And if you really enjoyed the channel and you want to show some support, even more support, then make sure you check out the Patreon, where you can receive perks for as low as £1 a month, which is very epic. Alright. So yes, oh god, these things would just be an absolute dream to drive with the power brake controller from TS Controllers. That thing looks absolutely amazing. I do want to get some peripherals for this game at some point. I don't want to get Rail Driver because it's expensive and bulky. I want something that's more realistic. Look at that. Just fantastic. Gillingham Depot, this is. Got Raynham next stop. Full whack. Yeah, and, you know, I often tell my non-appreciative friends that making the thing move isn't very hard. Like, if you were to drive a car, pushing on the accelerator pedal isn't very hard, but steering it, stopping it in the right place, maneuvering it into the right position is also hard. There are some, that said, there are some aspects of this game and trains in real life that can be very difficult to even start. For example, starting on a steep grade, you need To apply a little bit of brakes, wait for the revs to build up, make sure you don't over-rev the engine, because that'd be bad. You gotta do all kinds of things. Just to watch that traction, make sure you're getting grip. Use sand where necessary, make sure you're getting grip whilst not damaging the train. You've got to make sure you stop in the right place in the platform, which, as you all know, I am brilliant at. You got to... You know, there's so many things that make this game challenging. You've got to keep to a timetable, got to keep to speed limits. Shunting is fun. That even has some aspects of manoeuvring. Make sure the right tracks are set. Got to do a lot of direction changes quite suddenly. Uh, 78, 79. Shut up. 100 miles, no, it's not 100, it's 80. Sadness fills my heart. Probably it isn't the best conditions to grab a screenshot in, but we'll do our best. Whoa! Haha. What a stunning game. And then I also have non-appreciative friends who Google Train Simulator 2 and they go, oh, it doesn't even look that good. And it's like, yeah, because it's looking up the retro simulator. I mean, this is one of the most detailed simulators. I mean, it can vary, but and the ability to walk around, it's just such amazing. I might deploy a bit of sand here so you don't slide around. I mean, to rain him and it's 3 platforms. Right, come off the brakes there. Shut up. Quite early now. Might even use the DRA. I will use the DRA, it's policy. Again, having a... because I've got this brilliant space just in front of my my monitor. The moment is filled up with useless cables and the microphone that I pulled out of my headset after I got my $200 good microphone. But I can shift all of that out of the way and turn it into the perfect space for some... God, these guys must be really wet. And turn that into the perfect space for some DRAs, DSDs, AWS holders. Stick that in there, and we're going to... Where's the DRA? Where's the DRA at? There it is. On Train Simulator, I believe that's linked to key. To key. It's a key binder to K, but I don't believe it is in this game. Why are you flashing at me? Oh, it's because I've got a diverging route. Yeah, okay. My mouse just died. There's a javelin. Yeah, we got a diverging route, but I think we're all set. There you go, there's my mouse sensitivity set to the correct level. Look at that, that is a very nice screenshot. Okay. It would be nice to have a guard mode in the game as well. Oh, I've got the DRA on, don't I? Yeah, there you go. See? Reminded me, signal is flashing yellow, it is safe to proceed. Just a quick single tone there. Props to Mr. Train Guy for making this fantastic livery. Loving it. Then we're going to go on to the local tracks at Newington. I don't even know why they have those tracks. Doesn't make that much sense, but whatever. Whatever. Maybe need to work on the foliage slightly. Slightly there, Dovetail. Work on the foliage. Work on the foliage. Okay, full whack, here we go. There you go. Oh, shut up! I hate you. Having a proper AWS plunger. Oh, I love the Electro Stars. Quietly. I mean, I used to not like them that much. I mean, I loved the 378s, but I thought they were more suited for metro kind of duties. And I was like, well, why would you put them on an intercity duty or a regional duty like this? And why wouldn't you just leave them on metro routes? Because I thought, you know, Siemens Desiro, because the Siemens Desiro, if I'm correct, they're slightly lower, which makes them look a lot wider. Whereas these trains, I think, are a bit taller and maybe a tiny bit narrower. And then it's like, this game comes out, East Coastway in particular, and it changes everything, because I'm thinking, these things, they don't accelerate that fast. I mean, they accelerate fairly fast, but they don't accelerate stupidly fast. They brake fairly quickly, not that quickly. They're actually very well suited to regional services, with some adaptations to make them good for metro, like the 378, 376, that kind of thing. Shut up. But I used to not like them that much, but now, after East Coastway and after this route, I love them a lot, more than I used to. And apparently they've got fairly good they've got good suspension or bad suspension? I think they got good suspension. We need to slow down an absolute arse ton for this. Reasonably good suspension. This is going to be an overshoot. Emergency. Come on. Bad! Mistakes were made. Oh dear. We're going to completely pass that signal, aren't we? No! Oh, rubbish. Bollocks. And it's super easy to reset from an emergency. I mean, if this was Train Simulator, you'd have to wait like 300 hours for that to finish up, but you don't, which is nice. Okay, let's back up, but make sure that the front of the train stays beyond that signal, because it's not going to clear if we go further behind it, because that's just a bug. Try and get the door just in the platform, but the train outside. There you go. There you go. Now we're all still perfectly fine, and we're still early. I wonder what would happen if a driver did overshoot. I reckon. Do you reckon it's policy to just slam it in reverse and back up? Or do you reckon they just move on? I'm blaming that on the weather, actually, because I would have much lower adhesion on the rails. I'm blaming that on the weather. See, this doesn't make sense, because it doesn't just go to Faversham, does it? It goes much further than Faversham. It goes to Dover Priory, and I can imagine there'd be more stops. It doesn't even say, this service is operated by South Eastern, blah, blah, blah. It says, let's go over here. Let's see what this says. Calling at, guarantee nowhere here will it say London Victoria. Rainham, there goes a Javelin. Gillingham, Chatham, and Rochester. Completely ignoring every single other station between Rochester and Victoria. Which, by the way, we can, and I will, at some point, drive on Train Simulator. That is going to happen. Chatham Main Line and Medway Valley lines, that is something that is going to happen, and I might even do a comparison between it and Train Simulator 2. I've actually tried to do that before, but Train Simulator decided to crash. I had to add full power and then just reduce it, just to get the amps climb, and then stop climbing when I need them to stop. I never use Notch 1 when leaving a station, it just seems like a waste. You know, it would have. I think it'd make sense if the whole point of having an express track is to let express trains pass through. Would it not make sense to have? You've got all of this distance here, which means that these trains that leave here will more or less be doing. They'll be doing line speed when they merge back in, so they won't delay other services. But that also means that trains leaving here, they'll only be doing 40, which might delay the express services. Why wouldn't you just extend the quadruple track out a bit so they can be going a little bit faster and then not interrupt the service as much? Yeah, just some big brain thinking from the big man himself. Right, Sittingbourne, Tainham and Faversham. Big distance between Tainham and Faversham. Big distance compared to the other stations on the route. I mean, obviously on the high-speed section from Stratford, which is there, to Ebbsfleet is massive, but on the classic routes, dingity ding. We are now American. We now have a bell. I wonder if you can hear the bell from outside. With the window with the window open? Nope. But you can hear the AWS. No, can't hear any of it. It's not happy. Keep it tidy. This cab is your workplace and you share it with your colleagues. Please keep it clean and tidy. I like that. Southeastern seems like a good operator. Not that I know. I mean, they haven't lost the franchise. Oh, sorry. No, not franchise anymore. Concession-based. Yeah. So it will always be Southeastern from now on. Until it gets rebranded as GBR. Bloody BR. Why didn't they just go back to calling it BR? I mean, Great British Railways is just too similar to that being the Great British Railway Journeys theme tune, if you were unaware. Right, we're going to start with some break. There goes 375. Oh, but the subreddit is going absolutely bonkers with, and I don't like to use the word noob, but it's the only proper way to describe these people. They've just got the game. They have absolutely no idea how to do anything. They were expecting it to be push a button and go. But it wasn't, because it's not that simple. Break one. I haven't been speaking that much, have I? Oh, God. I just completely lost my mind. Oh, God. I haven't been speaking for a good while. I was just like, ooh, a bloody memory lapse was... Went into forgetting I was recording mode. Oh, God. Ooh, that felt weird. I was like, ooh, I'm recording, aren't I? Because I glanced across, I was thinking, oh, nice stop. You just stopped that perfectly. And I'd stuck my head out, done some things, looked in the cab, and then I glanced over to see OBS and was like, oh yeah, I'm recording. Oh, God. And also having a door panel would be nice, because I could go mash and just mash a door panel. Oh, I've got so many ideas. I mean, I've got I'm running this off a laptop, but I use a separate keyboard and mouse and monitor and microphone. I mean, I just use the monitor for its screen and its CPU and its GPU and its, like, core. How far away? Not very. But I could build a frame that goes over the top of the laptop keyboard that has fans on the bottom to cool it down, and then on top it has AWS, DSD, DRA, door control panel, and then the crown jewels, the power controller handle, and I could have a little cubby underneath where I could store some other separate heads if I ever get some. World of possibilities. Take a bit of work though. Do some CAD for that. Just can be bothered to design that kind of stuff and draw it and all of that kind of stuff by hand. TS Controllers is a good brand. Rail Driver, it just looks very cheap and not very good, if I'm honest. Notice board light. Guessing that's where you put your timetable. I mean, the TGVs and such, they've got this area cleared out, and a lot of high-speed units in the more central area, so you just glance down and say, oh, I need to be there then. Although, to be honest, you got a computer, and a lot of trains have, like, just a screen here to replace most of these controls. Because, you know, I would have thought you would have, say, a route code and a number code and a driver code and all of that combined. The computer knows what the timetable is, and you can, like, just go into, I don't know, click timetable mode and it will say your next stop is blah. I mean, the bloody DRA knows what it is, so surely the train would know, and you know, next stop blah, you need to be there at this time, and then gives you an actual on time, were you there then, yes or no. Oh, sound, come back. I think my sound card might be having a field day. Can't blame it though, it's having to get all the sound from the rain. That's what it is. Right, up to the stopping point, please. Preferably. Kill some time doing that. Kill a whole minute. Wow. Like and subscribe. Don't know why I said that. It's a good reminder. You should do that. 2.2, 2.1, 2, 1.8, 1.7, 1.6, 1.5, 1.4, 1.3, 0.2, 1.1, 1, 0.9, 0.8, 0.7, 0.6, 0.5, 0.4, 0.3, 0.2, 0.1. There you go. Doors. Beep, 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 beep. Epic gamer move. Dover Priory. Don't know what that is. It's definitely not a hopper window. Looks like somewhere where there would be a PIS, but there isn't. Because yeah, look, it matches the dimensions perfectly. Or unless it's a sealed hopper. Maybe it's a sealed hopper window. There used to be a hopper, but they got rid of it. Got no idea. Because every coach seems to have a few of them. Would be nice to have some variation, like, because it says you just have to knock out this trailer car and have some 3-car 373s and 3-car 377s. Be nice to have. Pantograph. I mean, it can't be that hard just to model a pantograph and stick that in on a few units. They do it in train simulators, so it can't be that hard. Sounds are a little bit off there. Let's just sit down and appreciate the sounds. Just appreciate it. Oh my god, what brilliance. Oh, okay. Some issues there. Never actually got the overpowering thing on the on any Electrostar before. It must be because I turned the wetness up all the way. Yeah, it is quite a wet day. As you can see, everything's drab. Bad. Generally. Just like my life. It's not true. My life's good, but it'd be better if you subscribed. Haha, sneaking that into everything I say. The cab light's on in the back. Oh, they are. Power wasting bastard. Beep-a-doo. So, okay, so 1 is stop, I guess that's in an emergency. 1, and then 1, 2 is closed doors. 2 is ready to start. 2 is 2 is not ready. Do not open door. 3 is set back. 331 is lock central door locking. 321 is testing doors. 33 is guard required by driver or guard to attend telephone. 331 is release central door locking. 4 is slow down. What's that got to do with anything? I'm the driver here, mate. Gotta slow down to that 75 that I just noticed from the HUD. 5 is driver guard leaving train in accordance with the rules. We slowed down way too much there, but who cares? 9 is police assistance required. Look at me following the rules that you need 2 tones at a whistleboard. What a beautiful thing to drive. Love the Doppler effect. Brilliant. Sounds amazing on horns. Meow. And it makes for good intros as well. Especially on trains that only have a single tone horn, because you can almost make it sound two-tone. Say on the a Rosa line, it goes. You have cool things happen in the background. Wow, we almost made it. I'm just a bit of a genius, got to admit. Pleasantly surprised about that. Let's start to slow down anyway. Like seriously, let's start to slow down. Alright, and we're gonna be more or less on time as well. Which is good, might even get to see the debrief screen. We're slightly late actually. Not that that's a bad thing. Shut up. You're gonna ping at me as well, aren't you? Ready for you. No, you're not gonna attack me. Okay. Da 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 da. Stick that in put you in off. Remove the master key. We're gonna need to lock them, aren't we? Yes. Just stick you in neutral for now then. Oh, so yes, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, etc. And I shall see you all tomorrow with some scenarios. Goodbye!